Hi and welcome to Vicky's Precious Petals. We're off again. Resin Casting Powder. Okay, this one is 3 to 1. Okay, which means you need 4 parts altogether. 3 plus 1 is 4. Okay, one of those is water. The other 3 is powder. Alright, everybody with me so far? I'll explain more as we go. Then, what I have here is a pair of hands. If you can kind of see how that works, pair of hands. Right, and sitting here, these are different sorts of flowers. These are tulips, believe it or not. And then I've got all these other flowers just sitting over here. All different little moulds. Now these moulds I use for my melts. If anybody has seen my melts, I did a desert in a purse, and they were all cactuses, so I've done lots of them. So I haven't bothered to clean the wax fully off these, okay, because I was thinking it would help seal the resin casting powder, which I'm going to seal anyway. So I didn't worry. So this one here, for instance, it's still got a bit of colour on it from where I was using different colours. They were micro powders and chameleon powders and things like that. Okay, and I have here, these are pigment pastes here. These are for the AR100, the Jasmonite, so, or AC100, sorry. But I have found that these colours work really well. I've used them in the ResinCrete. Haven't used them in the resin casting powder, but I'm thinking it's just going to work exactly the same. So I can't remember how much these were. I got them out of Art Tree Creations. You do have to make sure you shake them all well. So the hands, I would like these hands to be like a little grey, maybe with a touch of purple in it. Just mauve, you know, so it's a light colour, because I want to colour all of these flowers, in theory. And I'm just wondering if, and then what I'm going to do is try to make them look like they're floating in the hands. Should be an interesting little bit of a project here. We'll see. I get all these mad ideas. And then for anybody that has seen me making my different soaps and bath bombs and all of that sort of thing, I need to make a couple of shapes here. Hopefully this resin powder comes out of here, so I can use it as like a packer. I'll show you later. Right, I've got a leaf here, but it's a bit big compared to these flowers. And I'm thinking it's a bit thin too. I found all of these, they tell you that they go really hard, but I'm finding with thin things, they break off. So I've got some other little flowers here as well, but I'm thinking they would go better with resin rather than casting powders. So I'll get this all out of the road. Right, so I'm going to mix a bit of red. Maybe I should put gloves on with these. Bit of red. I'll clean that in a second. With a bit of blue. And that is super dark. So I'm thinking I'm just going to put a bit of white in this. And I need something to wipe. I've got 3 packets of baby wipes here somewhere. So I'm thinking, that probably looks really dark to you guys in the camera, that by the time I mix that up with all the white, it should be a lot lighter. We'll see. I'll stick it there for now. Let's move these out of the road. Okay, the hands hold 550 mils. Alright, so to work this out, should have got some paper out so I could show you. 550, now I need to multiply that by 2, which is 1100 grams. Now I need all up. So I just calculate the mils, because that's how I work, multiply it by 2, that gives me 1100. That is the gram figure now. So, just stick that aside. I'll go and get some paper so you can see. Oh, nearly locked me. Coupling over. Okay, so the hands hold 550 mils. Here, this resin casting powder is 3:1. Sorry, I thought I was working with one of the other ones. So I need 550 grams, 550 mils, multiplied by 2, gives me roughly how many grams I need. The 1100. Okay, you need to double your product. So then we take that 1100 here, and we need to divide it up into the 4 parts. Okay, so you take your 1100 divided by 4, 3 plus 1 is 4 up here. So you need 4 parts. So the 1100 divided by the 4 is 275. That's 1 part. So that 1 part will be water. That part there. Then you've got 275 multiplied by the 3 parts here that we need of powder. Okay, so that's the 3 there, and that equals the 825. 275 by 3, 825. That's your 3 parts. Okay, 3 parts there of powder. So if you want to do a double check to make sure that you're right, you add your parts together, which is the 825 from here and the 275 from here. Yeah, add them together, gives you your 1100. So you're back normal. This is not a hard calculation. You just got to stop and think about it. Okay, I have had people write a few comments down that they didn't understand it. And I'm going, that's 4 parts. So 4 parts is like a quarter. That's not, yeah. Anyway, we won't go to that. You'll get confused. Right out, we'll leave that there. So now I need to, I've left my jug outside because I took it out and cleaned it. We'll be back in a second. Rightio. I'm going to weigh this out. Rightio. I've got 830 there. Rightio. Let's seal this back up. Get this out of the road for a second. Rightio, I'll just get this out of the road. So this is what we're going to fill. I'm only doing 1 pour at a time. Okay, because this stuff, it's rather hot here today. And it's very warm in this room I'm in. And I can't open the door because otherwise I end up with the dogs in there. And I've got one dog at the vet's who's not very well. I hope I don't have to put her down because I'm not strong enough to do that. Okay, so I've got my water. In we go. Just give that a stir before I add the rest in. Now I've tried all sorts of different mixing bowls and different ways of stirring. I think I've measured that all wrong. Oh my goodness, what did I do then? Because this is very thin. And I find the fork and a plastic bowl, not a silicone bowl, works the best. For me anyway. Making sure I've got it all off the bottom. Let's add a bit of colour. I'll just add that much to start. You can always add more, but you can't take it out once it's in there. Might just make it a fraction darker. When it dries, it tends to dry a bit lighter again as well. Do this. Okay, that's a bin. Rightio, let's pour it in. Hoping I'll measure that water right. I think I did, because you couldn't get more than, yeah, in that cup. Anyway, I'll just see what goes on. Now I do it on boards, because then I can slide this board and continue on mixing for the flowers. I'm just going to give it a little tap. Make sure there's trying to bring the air bubbles up. And this is thickening off really quickly. So I am going to pour right to the very top, because they make the bases on these things very thin. Wondering if I'm quick. If I can get a couple of flowers poured out of the little bit that's left. This might be too thick. Oh. Getting a couple of air bubbles in it. completely missed. Right, I'm going to go and wash this up because I find it sets, once it's set, it's really quite hard to get out of the bowl. I think the bowl's getting a bit scratched, so it's kind of sticking. Yep. So I've got a little bit left in there, but I'm going to go do it now. Okay, I've been to the vets, picked up my dog. She's in a little bag behind me here. That's where she will be for the next 2 months apparently. It looks like we have a bulge disc, but there's something else going on. But then that was on x-rays and that today. That was $1,200, and if we go for scans, I need another $3,000, which I don't have. So we're kind of playing this by ear. Alright, I'm going to make some green. So I've put some blue in there. And some yellow. Need more yellow. Bit more yellow. Okay, so that looks probably really dark from where you're sitting. So I've got a bit better of a colour. I wouldn't mind that a bit lighter. Then I can add a little bit more blue to it after I've poured some. So we're having a thunderstorm here, so my dogs, one, they're trying to get in the door to see Maggie, and they're not allowed to jump on her or touch her. That's why she's in a little carry case. That's a bit of green. And they bark at the thunder. I don't know what they think they're going to do with it, but anyway, I'll just get another bag of. I'm really hoping that the markets go well for me this weekend because I really need the money. Okay. I'll just get rid of that. Okay, so I'm working on, I just measured one and it holds 50 mils. So I'm working on that these 5 here is roughly 50 mils each. So like that one won't, but this one might hold a bit more. So I'm just going to work on that. So that's 125 mils that I need, which is 250 grams. I might just put that one there. I can always use it if I've got too much. So what's that? 187.5 for the powder. So I'm still using the casting powder, this one, which I think I just bought this off Temu or somewhere. Oh, come on, I don't want it in pounds. Unit, come on. No, grams. There we go. Right, zeroed it off, and I need 187.5. Quite enough. Oh, and it went too much. Way too much. There we get there. Close up enough now. Step there. Out of the road. Now I need some water. There we go. 62.5 water. Okay, let's get rid of that out of the road. Bring this back over here. And we're going to add the water. On the bottom. So, whoop, didn't mean to tip that much in actually. You're definitely not going to get much greener than that. Right. So I only want to half fill these. Now I want to change the colour slightly. Sorry about the dogs. Okay. So it's a bit more yellowy green now. But I haven't made enough here. I'm thinking not. I'm going to guess this. A bit runny, I think. This is what happens when you don't measure everything properly. It's not sticking to the fork enough. Yeah, you sort of kind of get the feel for it after a while. Making sure there's no air bubbles in there. Or hopefully there's no air bubbles. I'm thinking there will be because of all the little ripples and things that are on these. Oh, that's right to the top. Just around one dash of blue in there, just to change the colour a bit. And my phone's ringing. I think after another ring. Right, that's what I've got here. I've got a bit left over. Got another small one. I might just do a practice with these. Oh, I'm dripping stuff. The vet told me that Maggie doesn't like hospital food. So one thing, she's still got her appetite. She's had a feed since she's been home. Now she's having a drink. I can hear her drinking behind me. So that's good. I just hope she can walk again. And like, they gave me a quote to operate on her was $15,000. Are you kidding me? Like, seriously? How many people have got to spare $15,000 hanging around in their bank account? Well, not me anyway. Right, okay, I'm going to go and clean this mess up. And I'm actually going to leave the hands in that tool tomorrow because it's quite thick. And I don't want fingers snapping off on me. And I'll leave these as well. Okay, so I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye for now. Okay, let's pop these out of the molds. Now, yesterday I was having a brain fade. I think I was more worried about being at vets and dogs and things like that. And I said that this one holds 50 mils, so 5 of them was 125 mils. How in the hell I come up with that, I've got no idea. Instead of 250 mils. I don't know what was going on in my head yesterday. Not much by the sounds of it. And today's not much better. Okay, so I'm going to pop these out of the mould. They get little air bubbles in them. But it does have a few colours in it and a few stripes, you know, which makes it look a little bit more interesting. Let's have a look at this one. Oh, that's kind of cute, except for some of these petals. I think that might actually be how the ends of those petals are. I'll put my spectacles on. I'll see a bit better. Yeah, they kind of do. Some do and some don't. Right, okay. So we'll just put that aside. It looks more like a rose petal anyway. See how easy these are coming out? These are really soft, these moulds. Oh, that's pretty. Alright. That's its mate. Let's put these over here. So I don't know, I'm going to pull those hands out shortly. But these, I think these are the best sort of moulds for these type of things because they're soft and they just peel off really easily. Oh, it's another rose. Oh, cute. I don't know if you can see these. Must have been a little bit of pink. Get out. I'll get something to get that out with shortly. It's just a bit of wax. Must have been in the mould. Let's keep going. Oh, nice. I would have liked a bit more yellowy look. Here's a bit of yellow in this one. So there's not much difference in some of these greens. But I did do these couple. And because this is so thin, I'm just going to turn it upside down to do it. Yep. So that did work. I'd say these are very fragile though. Give them a few days to dry properly because that's pretty thin. Not much to it. But just to know I can do them. Let's have a look at these ones. That's another rose. What was this one? Oh, that's another rose. It's like that one there. They're like rose petals, like buds opening, just opening or something. Right, let's put those all over there for now. Now I do have out a whole heap of rose moulds and different flower moulds because I didn't know what was going to look the best. And I've got 2 bags of moulds sitting behind me as well, just in case I run out. Yeah, okay. So, and I still haven't done the thing for my, oh, there's a bit of weight in this one. Let's gently move these, get that out of the road. Over here for a minute. I won't knock them off the table. I was doing a water feature one, and one day I knocked the main thing on it was a mermaid, and I knocked it straight over. And I have never gone back and finished that job yet, but I will have to. Okay. Yeah, that's not a good sign. Got a hole just here. I'm hoping I can fix it. I'm just going around breaking the seal to start with. Come on, keep going. Maybe if I can get it up and over the fingers, it will. Yep. Okay, come on. I'm trying to get over the thumb. Coming out. I've got a bit of a different sort of effect. Okay. So in there's not too bad. Oh my goodness. I've got to go and deal with these dogs. So see my problem here, but I might be able to sand that back and just here. That's what I'm kind of thinking. But let's have a look at some of these. If I put some of these in here. That'll be right. They're too big. Let me go deal with these dogs. It's not kind of working how I was thinking. And I think yellow might look so much better in there than the green. And I'll just put these aside for a second. Oh. And then we go to these ones, and they're a bit too small. Although, if I floated them, they might look alright. So if I filled this up with some resin, and put the flowers on the top, I'm just looking at size here. Don't mind me fiddling around here. I think that might look a bit better. So what I might do, because what I do want to do is a whole range of these. So for instance, I've got my watering can here. That's the, that goes there. Okay. So maybe just one of these in the watering can might look alright. But I'm thinking these need to be a different colour. Let me put these all over here. But I can turn all of these into air fresheners, so it's not like they're going to get lost or not used. These are too small for the air fresheners, but these will be alright. So they're nice as air fresheners in toilets and bathrooms and things like that. So I'm just going to stick them over there. Put that there. Move all of these. And I'm just going to go back to the drawing board. And I'll mix up some yellow. And maybe Maybe if I just did some white as well. I've got to try and fix underneath first, because unless I can fix that, the rest of this is pretty useless. But that's lovely and smooth. So it's just this bit here. It must have been as I was pouring. I'd say this was drying off. So I don't know if I can fill it with resin. Let me see if I can sand it back first. I'll get some sanding gear out and see what I can do. Okay, I did make it a bit tidier, but it's not perfect. So I do have to mix up a bit more. So this is a bit of 400 wet and dry. So it has made it a bit better, but not perfect. So I'll mix up some more and see what I can do with that hole. Okay, they come out kind of motley. They didn't go in motley. But anyway, it's made a bit of an effect. But I'm thinking with like some brighter colours, like the yellow, maybe some red. But it doesn't go very red. I'm just putting these things in there, or some white. Might make this look a little bit better. So, back to the drawing board. I'll just stick these out of the road. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I've just bent up a couple of pieces of green wire. So I don't know if these have got a fair bit of weight in them. If they're going to be too heavy for... That's why I twisted it, because on its own it would just bend. But I thought if I twisted it, it might make it a bit stronger, which it does, but I don't know yet. So we'll just see. I'll twist a couple more up just so you can see what I'm doing. So I just started like this and turned. And you can kind of make different shapes if you want, just doing this, twisting it. I did have a fancy idea, and then I thought, oh my goodness, I'll be here for a month just making one item. Which is alright if you're going to get the money back. But I don't think I'm be able to sell this for enough money to warrant the amount of time I would take. So see on this one, I made like little bits that I could have made off little like little leaves and things, which is what I was thinking. That's why I got that out, and I started making them, and I thought, oh my goodness, we might leave that project for another day on something I'm going to get a bit more money for. So as you can see, I'm just making different shapes. It's not uniform. This one is, that one's not, and I'm thinking the not ones will actually look a bit better. I'm not sure. I don't need them very long. I'll probably have to cut them again when I go to put them in. So I'm just kind of making something a little bit different. I'll make 4. This is just an old vise with my grandfather's. Which works perfectly. I've got a brand new one, and it seems really flimsy. I thought, So it's still sitting in the box. I'm still using this one. But anyway, you get that on these jobs. I think that'll be plenty, and they're going to be too long, but I'm better off with a bit of length. And I can always cut it off if it doesn't work. So my thoughts were, so like with these, I'll pour the Ecco resin or whatever I'm using there, the powder. Which powder am I going to use? I'll have a look in a second, see which I've got enough. There's not much left in this resin casting powder, so I'll just see if I've got another bag of that one. Just otherwise I'll be mixing 2 products, which might not work. So my thoughts were to put that in there, so it will sit up a little bit off the hands. So let me get the hand. So, but it'll be a flower, not a cactus, and it'll be a bit shorter, because I don't think that will support that much weight. But it might do, might surprise me. We'll have a look and see what's going to go on and see if it'll sit up or not. I've got a bit of foam here. I'll put it in foam and see if it works. Yeah, we'll see. Right, I'll be back when I've mixed up some powder and find which powder I'm going to use. Okay, I've decided I'm going to use this resin casting powder, which is a different ratio, this one. I got this out of Temu, I'm pretty sure. And it's 4:1, so that's 5 parts I need on this one. If anybody knows where I can get this ResinCrete one in Australia, please let me know. I can only get it out of, the only place I found it is on Temu, but I see Steve McDonald using it in England, and he's buying it in England. So I'm hoping that there's somewhere in Australia that's actually importing this or making it themselves. I'm going to guess importing. Yeah, because it's like, so this one was $25 and I probably bought it on special, and it goes nowhere. So I've written myself notes on it. Don't forget, please tell me if you know where I can get it from in Australia. Okay, I've done these two with the parts in them, with the metal in them, and no dramas, and it'll hold them perfectly. So I got called away, and oh yeah, people turned up. I was trying to do this. So these two bits here didn't get their little stem. I'm going to try this B7000. Ah, battery's flashing. Okay, I'm going to see if these will stick with this or not. I'm just going to give it a second to go a bit tacky. And then let's see if it'll stick. I need some way of holding this here. Oh, for heaven's sake. I'm not doing real well at this with this B7000. Sometimes it's a bit hard with these porous type materials. Stay there. Not working that way. Okay, these are just, I'm going to put them aside, so give them a fair while to dry. I'll stick them over here. Now I'm just going to mix up a little bit more. That one fell over straight off. Come back. Okay, this has taken me a few days to get back in here. There's a whole lot of stuff going on my computer that I've had to see to. So what I'm doing here is, this is just one of those flowers, and I'm no artist, and this is just, I'll put the bottle, it's an acrylic pour paint, but I'm using it as paint, so we'll see how we go. I'll just touch it, because they looked a bit plain, I thought, and this looks like a carnation to me, and carnations do come in these particular colours that I'm using here. So you could use any paint, I think, as long as it was acrylic. I don't even know if it has to be acrylic. I suppose if it depends on what you're going to put on top of it. So what you're going to seal with, or... But I'm thinking I'm going to use a bit of resin. this underneath here, that's just a foam block, you know, like a florist. Oh, I've just painted the pen on the camera. Forest foam block, and I've just put a bit of baking paper, or these are baking sheets, over it. That way I can use it over and over again. Then I thought, this is the longest project I think I've ever done, because I've stopped and started that many times. I've got confused as what I've told you where I was up to. Is I'm thinking I'm going to pour resin over these, or dip, maybe dip. And the stems that I used, so these two I glued on, right, and they're holding that flower without any issues whatsoever. And this one here, I've done two of these, yes I have. I put inside, no dramas there either. So I'm hoping that, I don't know how I'm going to put these on those hands yet, but you know, one step at a time. Long like making it up as you go on. Anyway, I'm going to continue on painting these. I'm just doing like edges and little strips and stuff like that, and I'll come back and see you later. Okay, I've mixed up some resin. This is a jewellery resin. It's a 3-to-1. I'll just grab the bottle. Solid Solutions, I get this at. Let me just move that for a second. This is the one here. Okay, so I haven't mixed up. I should have about 150 ml there, if I work correct. Yep, I have. I'm not sure how much I'm going to need. I've got no way of measuring. So, what I'm going to do first, I'll do it this way so you can see. I'm going to dip these. So, let's see what happens. That got bubbles on it. Like, seriously? It has. Oh, come on. So there's little bits now that don't have so you can see where I've got the bacon sheets down, so I'm going to make a mess. Next, I don't know if twisting it is going to stop the bubbles or make more. So this is a fairly thin resin, that's why I'm using it. It does, however, take a while to dry. Put that over there. Get in. Okay. Next. Oh, don't tell me I've got a blowfly in here. It's the only thing about summer in Australia. Oh no, it's just outside the window. Trying to get in. That's not going to happen. So normally I kind of coat with some sort of, I've got all sorts of different sorts of gloss finishes, sealers up there. But I thought I'd try this for a change. Let's give it a go. This is going to fit. It's a big one. So these have been like drying for, like, it's been days that I haven't been able to get in here. So I'm getting a new website. So I've had to do all new photos and like document everything. So for instance, with my candles, they've all got to have descriptions, what's in them. Soaps have got to have all their ingredients. So it has taken me some time to do all of that. Some of it I already had done, so it was just a copy-paste type thing. Right. Just going to move that to there. I did do these, but I don't have a way of hanging on to them. I'm just going to have to make a mess. I don't know if I need these or not, but I've just done them in case. So I thought they looked quite cute. In theory, I was just thinking I should have got they shouldn't stick to the baking paper. But then when I've opened this one, it's different from what I've usually used. Oh my god, now that's gone right down. Get out. I'm just going to move that so it doesn't, it's pooling on it. Move that over there. Okay, let's get these hands. So I'm using a brush rather than my hands here because these have all got like where the knuckles and that are. So I get in there, in theory. I have got way more resin than I need. Now I do have to fill this hole. So what I'm going to do on the inside is I'm actually going to pour resin in here and set those flowers in it. So I'm not overly worried, but I am just coating it so they looks all even. And I'm going to have to get out a mould to set these in now that I've painted the inside as well. You can see all little bits when you miss it, that's for sure. I'm just going to turn that back over. Set it on that cup. I'll go and find a mould to put this in. Okay, the hands are drying. These little things are on the go. I'll move them so you can see them. So I'll come back to all of this tomorrow. And these are all going as well. So we'll come back and have a look and see what I've got tomorrow. The hands look like they're just sucking up the resin. We'll wait and see what happens. I might have to go to plan B. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure I'll be able to fix it. Talk to you later. Bye. Well, I got this awesome effect. I have to, like, seriously. So this looks like, I don't know how well you can see it on there, but it looks like the hands are wet. That's where the resin's run down. And then I've got these, like, bubbles here and here. And I'm thinking I'm going to actually leave them there. So this is the back. So I don't know what's going on. It's like it's absorbed it. I did have it. I did do a tray once, and this kind of effect sort of happened as well, which was an awesome tray. So I'm really kind of liking that. And then I've been fiddling around with these flowers. Look how pretty they've turned out. They are just like gorgeous. So then I've been fiddling with this. I'm like, come on, that sat in there a minute ago. Now it's making a liar out of me. Get in there, come on, play the game. So and then I put this one kind of at the back. And then I've played around with all the other flowers. And then I set this in the centre, like that. And I kind of like that. After I've like swapped and changed and moved and get back in there. Oh, come on. Stop. This is worse than... Okay. Nobody move. Nobody breathe. Then I kind of sat that in the centre, like that. And after all the mucking around I did, all the changing, so I'll just keep moving this around so you can see. I'm thinking this one looked the best. It needs to be a bit more level. So I'm going to mix up some resin. I've got one of these, that's resin, they're the translucent colours, and they're really nice. But I'm just kind of thinking, do I just leave this clear, or do I add a little bit of blue? While I'm mixing up the resin, I'll try to make my mind up. I'll be back. Okay, I've decided to go with the clear, and now what I'm using is the artist resin, and this is the 1-to-1. Okay, so it's a thicker resin, and it doesn't take as long to cure either. So, I've got to look, I'm trying to see if I can get what might appear to be some drips off the flowers. I don't know if that'll happen or not. Of course that one's running the wrong way. Probably should wait till this gets thicker, but I've got to make candles today. So I'm thinking this should hold everything. Now I know I've got some drips over here. Another one at the back here. I'm trying not to move this if I can avoid it. Okay, I think I've got it done. And if they keep dripping, this is the silica matte, so it doesn't matter. I can they'll just peel off later. I just want to see where it's dripping on the hands. Oh yeah, it's running down the side. Not on that one though. Okay, this is going to make a really nice ornament. I think you could still use it as a trinket tray. Like, you know, if you want to just put your keys in it or something, scratch the hell out of it though. I just kind of like it like this. Oh, we're trying to come up with some different ideas. Anyway, I'll be back when this is all cured. Talk to you later. Okay, I'm really happy with the way this has turned out. Like, it looks like the hands have done that, scooped up the water. I don't know how well you guys can see where it looks like there's water on the hands. So, the back, this is where it, a little bit is, actually this has come from where I poured on the flowers. So, I like the water effect running down the fingers there. I'm not overly worried about the bottom. So, yeah, like, looks like water, so I'm really happy with that. I'm going to see how it sells, because I do have other flowers over there made up, and I can use some, I've got whole heaps of molds to do different things. So, if you like this, guys, thumbs up, and I would really appreciate it if you could support my channel. Yeah, that'd be great. Talk to you all later. Bye for now.